like I can share my, experiences, how I've been through, and I can relate to you as I'm still going through academic stress and the pressure for teachers, so I can, know more, like I relate more. I can say that. Let me like share it first. Mm, how to share though? I know. Go here and then I go here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's currently under process, so
Oh,
maybe in
okay.
few minutes we will see. Yeah, now we can see that.
Okay. How do I put it? Nope, here, I think. Oh yeah, it's gone. And is it full screen now?
It's loading now. Yeah, yes,
Okay,
it
sorry,
is.
my laptop is a bit slow.
No problem. Okay.
Oh, now we are here.
Yeah,
I will just put it to the side, like here. Now you can see it?
yes, we can see.
Perfect, perfect. So this is the topic for today, opportunities in climate action and waste management, local and global perspective. So, let's start with me. Who am I? My name is Laiba Zahid, and as you can know, obviously, and this is me wearing a engineer's hat and like the whole costume engineers do. I'm basically a material science engineer, and I'm doing my master in advanced materials innovative recycling. Well, I will talk about it later at the end by like when I will tell you how I got here and how I got the scholarship and stuff like this. It will be more beneficial for you guys, especially when you're like trying to pursue a career abroad or something like this. But this is my background. So I did my Bachelor of Engineering in Material Science and Engineering from Institute of Space Technology, Islamabad, Pakistan. And then on my last semester of my bachelor's, I got the scholarship opportunity from a European Institute of Innovation and Technology. And then I started my year in Portugal. And then my second year of master was in Spain. So it was basically like Erasmus Mundus master in which you go into countries to do one master. So it was like this. You can see here my degrees of two master are different, but actually they're not. It's just the one master in which you do different degrees in different countries. But it's you receive two degrees, but it's only one. It's considered as one. So my experience there in Pakistan when I was, so obviously in bachelor's you have to do the internship. So I did in failure analysis center in which like the material comes, like the field material comes especially, and then you have to investigate like a cop, like why it got failed and what happened, you cut the material in half and do everything on it, and it's like a very interesting thing to find out if you are interested in investigation and cop stuff like that. And my next, like here, I know it says I'm worked like 3 months because it was my internship in Grupo de Investigación Tema. But still, I'm working. I'm doing thesis with them and another project with them too. So it's like I'm making a construction product from waste materials. So I'm making, like the thing that goes inside a wall here, like plaster. So I'm working on a plaster that is from waste from other construction materials. So it's like a whole circular kind of product that I'm making. So I just submitted my thesis previous week, so it was hell of a week for me. So this is the table of contents type thingy that I prepared that I will talk about. Not that important. Then, so this is our global challenge. So I would like you to first, paint a picture of a world where their like materials are gone and there is like no material inside the Earth's crust. So imagine a world where we consumed everything and everything is gone, and now we're without everything. So it would be a disaster in itself. So that's the challenge, we have to see the future and we have to see and give a solution to the world, as in, if I know if you're interested into um, this session or this program, I know you are more interested towards this thing, which is good because the world need you guys and they need people like us to, make the change to the world. So, let me tell you another story that uh, so in my classes I had opportunity of taking a session of climate change. So what happened is that uh, it was a whole week session, like psychological, not psychological. How to say, like when like psychologists, like whatever it's called. Okay, it was a session. So, um, in which they train your mind to think like a climate activist and what will happen if you don't. So, the bad thing about that was they said that it will start with some fires across the world, in which like India and Pakistan, countries like this who make the most agriculture, will be most uh, towards the dangerous side, because then the agriculture would not be there. Like if you don't grow agriculture there, because most of the world's food chain goes through these like agricultural countries, which include India, Pakistan, and countries like this. So there will be a famine across the world. So it will start with some fires and then more fires, and then like proper like bomb type fires, which will be like natural. It's not like somebody will not cause it, it will be natural. And then there will be famine, and countries like us, like Pakistan or like Asian countries, will have to move to another countries because you cannot live here because the temperature will rise so high, and eventually everyone will die. So that was the bad part about it, which we need to take care of. And this is our challenge. Like me as a environmental sustainability expert or climate change thinker, I need to like think, and you guys are also like climate change thinkers, so you have to think with that. And yeah, so that what will happen. And here we have like the whole data of it, that how it will go. I'm sure, like I'm not going into details because I know you will be really bored from previous session. You have seen this already probably. So, but the thing is, it keeps us motivated. It keeps us keep going. It keeps us the purpose to change. Like you can be the change. I can be the change. Everyone can be the change. So this is the best part about it. So let's go to the next slide. Yes. So this is the global context. This is from the Google. So I Googled it and I was like, let's see how many countries are like going towards recyclability. So the first one was Austria. It's my favorite though. I did the whole report on this country too. I don't know why, but I love this country. So it's like you can see there are more European countries involved than the later world, which means that Europe is like on the top of the your recycling chain. There are like America is also on the top, but I feel like in deep my heart, I feel Germany is the most recycling country who like you can think of. So these are the values in which Austria is obviously on the top. And then we have Wales, Taiwan, Germany, and Belgium. I'm like, really happy that they are going towards it. So, and there are like I searched about some schemes that in the world that is going on. So, oh wait, this is blocking the content. Can you like how do I can do it like this? Oh, oh yeah, I can do it like this. That's perfect. So, Places like California and obviously, as I told before, many European countries, they have a consumer pay a deposit on beverage containers. So what happens is that a consumer, us, pay a deposit on the containers, and then it would be refunded when we recycle it. It's not happening in Spain though, because I would love to do that. But it's like not all European countries. But I know I don't know if you have seen Instagram reels or something like this in which like there are people who like put the bottle, and there was one in Pakistan too, I think Lahore or something. I don't know if it worked, because if you have to do this, you have to change the whole policy around it. You have to, give the law to the country like this is how it's going to be, and all the companies will do this. I remember when I came in 2023 in Portugal, then there was like, it's a bottle, okay? So there was a cap in which, like, obviously you can take off the bottle cap. In Portugal, when I came, I could take off, and then there was suddenly a change in which I couldn't take the bottle cap off. And I was like, what is happening? Why I'm drinking and there's a cap in my mouth? So then I got to know from my professors that it's like they pass a law across the whole European Union that because it's really hard to recycle this and this, so what they do is they're like, okay, companies do the change and make a bottle cap so it sticks with the bottle. So you have to like, it's like this. And I'm like, oh, so that's why it's always sticking in my mouth because it's for recycling. So I have to accept because I live here. So, but it's sometimes it's more like irritating, like it's like always in my mouth, but like you can always do it like this. So that's the thing when you do like a beverage on a container, you have to change the whole policy around it. You have to like talk to all of the companies like this is the rule now. You have to do it like this. So you have to be like really firm and like the change maker type something. And let's talk about the other one. In Taiwan, they okay, so this is like the really funny one because they do it like voluntary events with music and something like this to make the engagement around the people. And then they're like, oh, okay, you want like let's recycle, and then they play music, they do like events, and then there is we collect the waste and something like this, which is like really, 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 really good. Like I would do it. If so, someone would say to me, "Oh, there will be an event where you have to do this and collect the waste, but there will be like music or something like this." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, sure. Let's go. Let's collect the waste." So it's really best way to engage people with it. Okay? Our main I would say our main bad thing is that consumer us are not aware. If we are aware about the problem more, then we would care more. Obviously, we will not care that much if it's expensive, but we would care about it as is. Okay, let's go to the next slide. So, what the other countries are doing also is that they are implying financial penalties. For example, Wales here is like they have a strategy with escalating long-term targets for local authorities, backed by financial penalties if targets are missed, leading to dramatic increase. So this is also happening in Europe too. If I went to ArcelorMittal Poland, and they were also like this. So if you don't know, ArcelorMittal is a company. It's like a major company that produces steel products like the train tracks and all this stuff. This is what ArcelorMittal produces, and it's like top companies in the world, one of the top companies in the world. So they had this thing, like they were really worried because European Union put like a penalty upon them. Like for example, if they increase the carbon emissions, they will have to pay. If they do this, they will have to pay. If they do this, they will have to pay. This was like a very good thing. But they were worried that what if the world is not doing it and we are the only ones who are doing it? And then we will be uh, the more expensive one, and no one would buy an expensive product. The people will buy the China product, and they were like really into like this politics. But it was really nice. They think when you go there, you feel like that's the world, that's how the world's working. So in Brazil, they're also doing like this. This Taiwan and Brazil one is are my favorite. They're like they give you credits on the electricity bill for being a responsible citizen for recycling, which is like, wow, I want that. Give me, please. Okay, so now I talked about Europe a lot because I live here and I feel like I know more about Europe than all across the world. So I already talked uh, a lot, but I will talk more a little bit. Not a little bit, like a lot more, but let's see. So, um, here in Europe they have a circular economy act with all of other acts too, but this one is the you can say more that they are doing. So this is like the problem stuff that they were hap that was happening is that circular economy policies, they were prioritizing resource efficiency while failing to address the ever increasing consumption, resulting in stagnating circularity rate and high import efficiency. So let me give you a backstory. What happens in Europe is that they don't allow to do mining for so many reasons. Like they're like, no, mining is not friendly and it's like stuff like this. So they are like, no, we won't do mining here. There are some mines, but they're really few and I think previous year, but I know I was there, it was 23, 24, and they I think how do you say when a president goes down? I don't know how it's say like they finished the government of a president because of mining. Can you imagine? So then our professors were like, this political thing happened because of materials, and you guys are material engineers, know how the world is working. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, but not that cool, but pretty cool. So what happens is that back to the uh, slide. What happens is that Europe's don't obviously they don't have mine, they don't have their own product, they don't have their own material. So they will have to import material from some other country, which include countries in Africa, and Russia and China. Major is China, and um, what they're like here, they're really worried. What if one day China refuses to give them the material? And there will be a chaos across the companies, across everything, and everything would be more expensive. So, what they are thinking right now is that for example, they have a material, they have imported material from China, Russia, Africa, okay? So they have the material. They're like, we have the material. What if we recycle the material? And that then we can use it like twice or thrice the times like we paid for. Like it's like also really a good technique to do it. Okay, so there were some stuff in the past that looked human safety and health overlooked human safety and health conditions because there were some materials that were really toxic to humans, which were like then taken out. And then, okay, what happens is that when you produce a secondary raw material is a material that is taken from a material. For example, I have a mobile, okay? So my mobile is has like a lot of electronics into it, okay? What if I buy a new mobile and I throw away my old one? What will happen is that it still has material, it still has some value. Obviously, I paid for that material, but it still has a value. So, how do you extract the material is again a thing that there are a lot of methods, but and a lot that are not discovered yet, which we and you have to discover. But some are that, for example, okay, we have different metals, okay, and every metal has a different melting point or vapor point, you can say, okay. So you will vaporize, like, increase the temperature till the metal got vaporized, and then it will fume out, and you have a channel to recover that metal, and from vapors it converts into solid again. But that method is very expensive, which is very effective, but very expensive. So, and always, like even if you go to any like uh, the jewelry that's made from a plastic can or something like this, they're usually more expensive than the metal one. So secondary things, recycled things, are generally more expensive, which is the real problem right now, which our generation has to solve. But let's see what happens. And okay, so we have limited success of extended producer responsibility, which is obviously because, for example, let me give you an example. So, for example, there's a company, okay? So, a washing machine company, okay? So, one person or one house buys one in, I don't know, 30 years, 40 years, I don't know. It's like, okay, let's say 20 years, okay? Where is the profit to that company? If that company is selling a washing machine to one person after every 20 years, and a shoe company, like which is selling after every 6 months or like something like this, so it's where's the profit? Why won't you make profit more by, literally defecting the washing machine so that it fails more and then people buy more? So that's what's happening in the market right now. The businessman has to think of the business, and the government has to think about the circularity. So it's like the concepts are really, 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 you really need to like think about what can be the solution. It's really difficult. So, and then we have bio waste. We have insufficient management for them too. Um, there are some plants that I've visited here that do bio waste management, but still I feel like they're not enough because average household produces a lot, and I don't think that a lot has been recycled. It's not me. I think like internet also tells that no, they're not recycling that much. And okay, so the problem still relies here. There are materials who cannot be separated. For example, um, okay, so a plastic bottle is a mix of different polymers, for example, okay? You cannot extract all the materials from it. So what you have to do is like you can just throw it in the waste or in a landfill or do it like this. So there are many materials, many materials who are still in the landfill. And I have personally visited landfills like this in Portugal especially. So they're like we cannot recycle it. They can nowadays they are doing with some are doing with plastic bottles, and the coffee here they have like the coffee I don't know, the coffee cups, like something, I don't know what it's called. Like you put in a machine and then it pours the espresso out of it, and then they throw the cup away. I don't know what it's called, but it's with the cup. Some companies here are working now on recycling those cups. So they like gather those cups or the plastic bottles, in which some companies are making chairs out of plastic bottles because you cannot do such thing. You cannot separate the material, so you need to like do something about it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so that's what I talked earlier about, that they are implementing solution for these problems, that they are implementing carbon border adjustment mechanism. So what happens is that the more carbon you produce, the more emissions of any kind you produce, the more pollution you produce, you will have to pay the government for that. So that money goes to the government, and then government takes the initiative to reduce that waste. So like I think it's beneficial for the company if they do it on their own than to give money to the government and then government doing all the stuff for them. So it's like, okay, but it's a like from a government's perspective, it's a really a nice initiative, I would say that. And like yes, and it's like the thing I talked earlier is like you put a tax on like a deposit or a tax on something, and then you take it back, and then emissions also, yeah, for like products and materials also you have to like think it of that way. Okay, so there is like establish circularity as a horizontal principle in the clean industry deal. Okay. So what happens is the system, our system, especially like countries like us, or I would say pretty much in Europe too. It's changing now, but before it was like a linear economy. Okay, so a product, you make a product, you throw the product, use it, throw it, make, use, throw. But now it's like changing, so it's called clean industrial deal in which you have to like do the hierarchy of the products. So what happens is that, for example, I'm making a product myself. So I told you that earlier. I'm making like plaster boards. So for it to get into the market, the approach is to do a whole LCA. LCA is life cycle assessment, where the product comes from, the whole transport of the product, and the whole like everything. You have to measure the energy cost, the transport cost of each and everything, and recycling cost. So what happens is that we have to have a whole hierarchy. For example, uh, for example, water bottle. Okay, I buy it, I use it. For me, I reuse it a lot of times. Like I fill it again with like like tap water, and then I drink it and then fill it again. And then there will be a time when I have to throw this water bottle. So the company should take my bottle and reuse it, or like how do you say do a little bit work on it and then reuse it again and again and again, so that like it's like they should collect the waste of their own company. It can be an approach too. So some companies are doing that, but there is another like iPhone is now doing like they are now like refurbished iPhones in which you, and Samsung too, I think. Yes, they are doing this, in which you give back the mobile that you have used and you get a lot of discount on your new mobile. That's the thing I that's the approach I buy for. So, um, okay. So now local opportunities in Pakistan. So we know that the Pakistan generates a lot of waste, and which is growing 2.4% per year. And Karachi alone generates 16,500 tons daily, on daily basis. And Lahore produces 7,690 tons on daily basis, which is a lot of waste. A lot of waste. But um, what happens is that we know that we are not recycling that much of a waste yet. But there are some waste to energy plants that are planned to be launched by 2026, which includes the Lahore waste to energy plant, in which is like it's a 40 megawatt facility processing 2,000 tons daily, which is not operational yet, but it will be operational by 2026. Finger crossed, hopefully. And then we have the Karachi project. Here we have like three projects which are working right now on processing. There are a lot of kilos, that much done daily. So I am really positively thinking, but it's not like for one project, it's like three, the values of three projects are combined in here. That's why. But I hope that it works really well, because in Karachi you can see there's like a lot of waste in the sea and like across Karachi too. So it's like really we really need to think about that. And I'm glad that people are thinking about that. There are opportunities there. And but the thing is, the thing with third world countries and countries like us have problem with is the investment. The investment in doing this is a lot. And I feel like European countries, you can say they're like very developed and now they can think about like this. But for us, we have to think on the basic necessity first and then about the waste. It's For me, it's really great that we are thinking about that before too. But the thing comes with the investment. Who will invest into that? Obviously, it has more money into it. But let me tell you another thing. I just keep it in my mind. So here they have an it was like my idea, like if I go back to Pakistan, like let's do that in Pakistan because it was really really best idea in here. So here's a company. I forgot the name of it, but there's an app in my phone about that. So what they do is there are like really restaurants in across your area, okay? So the food goes into waste, okay? So what they do is they do some offers on daily basis that we have like this much money, like for example, the original food is 20 euros or something. So what they do is like, okay, get the food for 2 euro, get the food for 3 euros. So you go to the restaurant and then you choose the buffet out of it. And this is a leftover buffet, which no one like it's going to waste. So they open like 5 to 10 positions per day. Like 5 to 10 people can go twice a day or something once a day. So they can give the food from it. So which is a really it's obviously not related to this, but it's related to the opportunity and it's related to the waste management, which they are doing, which really fascinates me like a lot. So I went there once and it was a Chinese restaurant. I think the name was something like Wok or something, but it was really, really nice. They give you a full plastic container in which you put all the buffet, whichever is left, and you can take the food home, and it's like 20 euro food, and but it's for you, it's 5 euro, so it's technically free. So it was really, really nice. So, and for this opportunity, you don't need that much investment. You just need connections, and you can do it. It's like off the topic. Okay, let's get back to the topic. So we have targets in Pakistan for reduction of 50% emissions by 2030, which is really difficult to do, but I hope we reach there. And we have targets for domestic and international stuff too. And for renewable energy goal, we have the target for let me just drink water because I'm still a little sleepy, okay? Okay. So we have target of 60% by 2030 and 30% electric vehicles. Let me tell you a backstory of electric vehicles too. We think, or I used to think, that electric vehicles is a wow innovation and it's like it's decreasing the carbon emissions and something like this. It is decreasing carbon emissions, but it is increasing the critical raw material consumption. Critical raw material. Let me tell you what critical raw materials are. Every country has their own critical raw materials. For Europe, they're different. For America, they're different. Critical raw materials are the materials that are insufficient or that will be insufficient in the next 5, 10 years. And we need like more import out of it or more mining out of it, whatever you can say. So, electrical vehicles use much more critical raw materials, or you can say the rare earth materials too, which is like, okay, you are decreasing the carbon consumption. Yeah, good for you. But what about the materials? You're using more. You should use less. Like, so Europe is now like going towards another kind of vehicles, like some hydrogen vehicle or something like this. They're like thinking about it because this is not a solution. So when you prepare a solution, you have to be like do the whole LCA about it, like do the whole life cycle assessment. Okay, this is the material that's going to be. What will happen? Okay, I will have to import this. I will have to do this. I will have to include this material. But the materials you're including are already like rare and they are mostly in Russia and China. So what if you don't have a good political bond with them? What will happen to you? The whole electrical vehicle market will just clash, and that's how they're like really transferring towards something else and doing some how do you say political relations with some other countries and like stuff like this. So, and then we have a Clean Green Pakistan initiative and National Clean Air Policy, and which was because recently I heard the news. I was not in Pakistan though, but I heard the news that there was like a lot of pollution in Lahore, especially, which was reduced. But I don't know how. But it was like I was I don't say how to say really grateful that it was reduced, that they are working on that. I think that was what we needed to develop some policies or to, move forward about the climate. Oh, yeah, it's happening, it's happening. The pollution is real. Okay, so, for climate finance gaps, so we really, 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 really need financing about the climate stuff because we don't have it. So, approximately by from Google, it says that we need $348 billion, which is a lot of money to mitigate all of the stuff, which is like really, really, really a lot. And we need to do like climate and nature performance bond that do the stuff and cap I just I don't know, I speak a lot of English and then okay, so the thing with languages is I know a little bit of Portuguese, I know a little bit of Spanish, I know a little like a lot of English, and then I know Urdu and Punjabi. And then I'm like, okay, how to say that word? But I remember in Urdu, and sometimes I don't even remember in Urdu, and I'm like, okay, what to say this? But I know in Spanish, I can speak Spanish, okay, but it's like really, really okay. Let's focus. I don't know where I was though. Okay, let's go towards the next slide. Hmm. So, I took the initiative to take the Indonesia that I don't know much about Indonesia though. I have one friend from Indonesia. He was Erasmus scholar with me in my same class. He was like really a good friend. He is a good friend, so I am saying he was. He is a still friend. And there was another person because uh, the thing about our master is that you get to meet a lot of people from across the globe. So I know like persons from Norway, I know persons from this country. So when we meet, we talk about, okay, yeah, what is happening in your country? So I know a lot of things about Indonesia, like what's the structure there. There's like there are more or less like Pakistan, the structure of like, class system and something like this. But I don't know like more about recycling stuff because yeah, why would I ask them about this? Yeah, I will ask about the normal thing. Oh yeah, what's happening there and which place is the more beautiful one? Because I obviously want to visit every country. I'm a big traveler though. Okay, so it says that 800,000 tons is flowing in the oceans by 2025 and it increases by 30%. Which is a really lot of plastic waste production and not yeah plastic waste production, you can say it like this. But there are projects that are working on it. There's a project stop that is providing 5,17,000 people, and they service waste services for them, and they collected 79,000 metric tons, including 12,000 tons of plastic, which is like I was like, yeah, there is opportunity there if you are like more um it how do you say more interested towards recycling. You can, obviously search about that project, and it's like it's really interesting to me too. And then you can say like innovation ecosystem. It's like they have it, and they have like six key innovations showcases: repacks, returnable packaging, Tradisi, digital waste management, and net-free CS, which is a fishing gear collection. I like they have so obviously you have different waste streams, and I'm like really interested about they have the different projects going on and different waste categories. Okay, so they have accelerated waste to energy products under consideration with sovereign wealth fund involvement. Okay. And ambitious program targeting 6.5 million people, diverting 140,000 tons plastic waste annually, which is pro like per sheet program, which like the people in Indonesia can look into it, and you can give me the details too about it. I would be more interested towards it too. And then it has like in private sector they are growing a lot, and there's like waste for change reports, and then they have like all the data about the waste they have collected and all the key. But like so there are companies that are working towards it, and it's like really fascinating to see the world working towards it too. So now we have the recycling infrastructure in Indonesia. So it is a very difficult name to pronounce, but I will try. Do not judge me, Indonesian people. It's PD Amandina Bumi Nusantaras World of Water. No offense, okay? Do not judge me and do not say bad about me, okay? That's how it's pronounced to me. It's bottle to bottle PET recycling, PET recycling, reducing 25 tons of new plastic annually. So the thing is that, for example, at the bottom of bottle, you can see which material it's made of. So you know this whole material, like excluding the sticker, obviously, this whole material is this. It here it says, wait, it says PET too. This is a PET bottle too. Yep. So you can like excluding, I don't know, I think the bottle cap is also made of PET, but I'm not sure. But you can recycle the whole bottle into one, and it's like, yeah, it's the same material and it's not a mixed material, the material, it's really nice. So that's how you recycle. And then they have the digital solutions, which is like, okay, so the waste management system have like different systems. I have been to some, and these are the technology that's mentioned here too. They're using is like, for example, let me give you a picture. Okay, so the waste is here. Okay, and then it goes like this in a how to say, like, you can understand it, like it goes like this and this. So what happens is that there are like AI sensors over here. So AI sensors senses the material, whichever it is, okay, somehow, and then it detects, okay, no, this is metal and something like this, and then it goes. The best way to categorize the material is that some waste management have these uh how do you say, waste management plants have this what do you call it? Like they have an air system. So, for example, you have a shopping bag, and then you have like a plastic, or then you have something. So they have like pressures of air. Like, okay, a shopping bag would do in this air. So like it will separate into something else. It throws the shopping bag into the one that is at the bottom, and then the middle goes like this. And for example, you have a plastic bag, a plastic can or something. Not plastic can, the metal can of like the bottles. They will stay there, but the other materials will fall down because of the air. So that's how like the air technology is also working. So getting back, I get um, to the somewhere else. So now we have like a public and private partnership, which is also good because I feel like public sectors cannot do a lot of things on its own. You have to do a public and private partnerships to uh, keep the thing up. So people here also do like something. For example, there are some plastic, not not plastic, recycling companies, any kind of recycling companies. So they do is like they do um contract with municipality. Municipality is the one who creates the not creates the collects the waste. Okay, so you to talk to them because the waste is still on the landfill. Okay, so they have the waste there. Nobody's using it. So what you do is like, okay, I will give you this much money for this. It's profitable for you, and it's profitable for me because I need the material, but I cannot buy the how do you say? Cannot buy the expensive material because I have to import the material. It's more expensive. So what you can do is you can give me that material for lesser price, like really less price, and then I can use it when I make a product, and then I can sell it, and it would be like secondary raw material product, but it would be like cheaper in that sense because the material is there, like they collect the material. Sometimes people do is like people tell them to, okay, you have the waste management plant, so you have the, plastic bottles, like a lot of plastic bottles, they have it. And then they're like, okay, you have it, why don't you just like combine all the plastic bottles and put it in like how do you say, wrap it up somehow and give it to us. So all the things are done by the government, okay, the municipality does everything. And then, okay, you as a company who are new or in recycling or something, you just take the product in very, 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 very cheap prices because no one is buying that product and it's just laying there on landfills. So it's really, really good. So I'm talking about the business opportunities because it's also in the opportunity section. You can create your own business on in your own countries, obviously. That's what Europe is also doing right now. They are, let me check the time. How much time do I have? I don't have a time. Wait. So, so what Europe is doing right now is also like, for example, to me, they are offered like 2 to 3 opportunities in which I had to present a pitch. It was all fully funded, all like the trip to another country was fully funded, everything was fully funded. So they do it um, incentives like this, so you create your own business. So if Europe is going towards that, why can't our countries do, like, why can't our youngsters, why can't our females go to the business and create their own business? Okay, this is the same as is. I will just keep it short. And okay, you have the financing system, the carbon pricing. We have to like do it like this. And then I don't know why the heading is messed up here. Sorry about my slides. I didn't have time to do the slides, but I had time to get the knowledge. So focus on the knowledge, okay? So this is like, yeah, I like the thing about South to South cooperation is that um our countries should collaborate, like this program too should collaborate among us to create more awareness among the youngsters so that they think about it the way other developed countries people are thinking. Like in Europe, they have it like every house in itself has like three ways thing that doesn't come like out of nowhere. You have to create the public awareness about of it, and you have to, convince the people about it to do something like this. So I feel like this is a very great initiative by Gaviria and Rashbi. I think I'm pronouncing it right. So they're doing like corporations like this, and then we have to do like the cross-border energy trade. Energy is like really important, obviously, because without it, it's really expensive, can be really expensive. So this is like sector-specific opportunities. So I told you about the waste streams, like the waste stream is not one. So you have a lot of waste streams. Everything is producing a waste. Everything you do is producing a waste. So we have like a lot of, we have solar waste stream, we have green hydro like things like this. So green hydrogen, there's another thing like they're producing green carbon, green hydrogen, green everything. So that green is, it's not like it's actually green. It's just like they are producing in a way which is this doesn't or produces like really less carbon emission, which is like they say it's a like green. Yeah, hydrogen. You can work on that. Like some of my friends are working on thesis on this. So you can build smart cities. I was in how do you say seminar with one Saudi civil engineering project coordinator or something, and I don't know if it was Saudi or Abu Dhabi. He was some like Middle East country, and he was like he had a project of whole city in a, well, like one longitudinal sector, and then making out of it like okay, so we have this park here and the houses will be on top of each other, and then the train line will be like this, so you can go from one place to here. It's like you if you want, you can build a whole smart city on sustainable practices. So yeah, like obviously we will have a population problem, so in the year, so we will know how to cater that problem. So you should be problem aware all the time. So it's like sustainable mobility, you can do that. But I told you that they say electrical vehicle is sustainable, but believe me, it's not. It's more problem facing. And then we have the agriculture sector, which you have a lot of waste on fertilizer and something like this, which we have to cater. And then we have this is the thing that gives all the thing that the policy. Like European Union has a policy which like they gives the rule to all the company like you have to do this or you're not in the European Union. They're like very direct about it. So we will have to do something like this to you have to do this, otherwise it's this, you will have to do this, you have to do this. It's like really uh something like this. And then our platform should be like this, who would like encourage like this platform. It should be like more we should do partnerships, and then there will be governments will be involved, or I would really love if government is involved in this kind of stuff to like giving awareness to the people. And then you have to do the evaluation of everything, like how is everything giving impact or something like this. And okay, so I'm just summing up my presentation because I'm out of time, but it's like immediate opportunities, like you have the project etc, you have to think like this. And major opportunities, like either you create your own business of the knowledge you have, because you can do that, or work with the company who is more how to get a knowledge. I will tell them, okay, these are the goals that you can do it, like how to get a knowledge. I will tell you that. Where's the slide? This is the main slide. Okay, screenshot it. This is not like
You can take time. Yes, we have time till 12:20. So you have 10 to 15 minutes, and then we have 10 more minutes to question answer. So you can go through easily. It's not
Oh,
such a
oh,
hurry thing.
I thought you said that it would be
No, no,
like
it's okay. Take your time.
okay, you like it's 1 hour and then 15
Yeah.
minutes.
Yes, you can take more time on the opportunities, how students can apply,
Ah,
how
okay,
they,
okay,
yeah,
okay,
you
okay.
can give more time on this topic as
Okay, so going back to the immediate opportunities, what we can do is like small scale waste energy recycling plants. As you can see in Indonesia and Pakistan and all the 8 countries, I don't know which 8 countries, but there would be some small scale opportunities there. So what you can do, the let me drink water again. So what you can do is the main thing is the research. Your research should be so precise and so like LCA focused that it should be covering all the perspectives. For example, the electrical vehicle solution, it doesn't cover the whole LCA, because at the end of the chain, you're consuming more materials, which will be a problem, but another kind of problem in the future. That's what Europe is worried about right now. So the thing is, you do a research which is very circular. For example, for me, I can give you an example about me because I'm working on it. So I'm making a composite, as I told earlier about this, okay? So, for example, I put the material inside, okay? Inside the walls. Now, the building remains until how much year? 40, 50 years, okay? When you take down the walls, when you like demolish the building, you take the material out, the material I made, you take the material out, you recycle it, you crush the material, you make it again. Simple. A very circular solution. So you don't have to how can you say, you don't have to make a new material again and again. You just take the material out, you crush it, you like mix it with the mixture again, and you make it again. You do it in a mold, you make it again. This is a very like you can say a circular solution in which like it covers all of the things. So the other thing opportunity is that like we, this is also opportunity. So there are like training programs like this, and okay. Infrastructure scaling can be an option, which is like you have to build your infrastructure, because let me tell you my backstory is that mm, when I was doing a material science degree in Pakistan, everyone was like, you don't have a job market, which was true. We still don't have a job market of a material engineer. And abroad, they give you scholarships on this engineering. They're like, okay, come here, like we give you a scholarship and something like this. But it's a really sad thing that we have to do our infrastructure like this so that They are like in banks. I have a light bank account in here, and they are doing like green financing and something like this, which is really nice. They need to consider this. But I feel like, I don't know about Indonesia, but in Pakistan, they are coming towards the this thing. And also uh, I had the opportunity, like in Emirates, they never had the upcycling department of airplanes, because the airplanes, whenever like their life is fulfilled, they just crush, like it's just crushed and thrown into a landfill. But now what they're doing is, okay, they have the material and they are not using the material, but the material has a value, it has economic value. So what they're doing is that they are opening an upcycling department in which they upcycle. The upcycle is like, one is recycle, in which you recycle. So what happens in recycle is that the material that will it was before, it loses its value. Okay. But upcycle is that the material gains some value by adding something. You have to add something. I did the upcycling workshop in Turkey. ITU itu you say, like in Istanbul Technical University. So that's how like I will had an experience about like upcycling the material. So you have to make more expensive material and more strength-wise good material, and everything good material about of it out of it. And then what can be goals? These goals are basically for the government and the companies like these. So let's go toward the long-term vision. It's like circular waste to resource and like stuff like this, green jobs. As you can see in Indonesia, there are a lot of projects that are focusing on green stuff. So the companies that are more working towards it, keep that in mind, keep that in, LinkedIn, add the CEOs and all of them. So what I do is I will tell you my strategy too. Let me go to the, I had a slide for, it's not going up. Yes, this one. So what I do is I know that these companies are working for recycling, okay? I have the LinkedIn, okay? You can add me on LinkedIn too if you want. It's like live as ahead. So I showed in the start, okay? So what I do is I send a request to the CEOs or the working people on the company so that I know how they're working and how they're updating, because obviously the CEOs would update about their company and I would know, oh, so this company is doing this company is doing this. And about the opportunity about going into the scholarship in Europe or any other country is that there are more than that. This is a very, 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 very small list, but I will tell you how you can get the more information about it. So the most important and the most best one, uh, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. Okay, I have class fellows of this. So what happens? Let me tell you everything, okay? What happens is that you apply. What documents do you need? Are like IELTS. For Erasmus Mundus, you need IELTS, okay? You need to have a good English. And then you need a letter of recommendation from one or two professors, depends on the, but I will tell you the not shortcuts, the thing you will get selected into. Do community work. Okay. Do community work, do community work. Okay. I was a president of an NGO before, in which in the interview, when they took my interview, I'm not Erasmus Mundus. Okay. I will tell you who I'm. So I told them about, I'm doing community work, and then like it's a very, very, very positive. In fact, if you, I had 4 years of community work. So even if you have like 6 months, it's like really, really nice. Okay, this is the key to get selected. My junior also got selected, and she was the president of the same NGO as I was. Okay, and I'm like so proud of her. And the president before her also got selected because she had 4 years of community work. So that's the key. Okay, that's the key. That's how you get selected. Okay, then your motivation letter shouldn't be that much long and shouldn't be like, for example, if I'm reading your motivation letter, I shouldn't be like, it's too much long, I cannot take it. Keep it to one page. Okay, keep it short, keep it to your dreams. Okay, like for example, mine was like, okay, when I was a child, I did this, so Now, like I had a dream to become like a material engineer and something like this, and do research on their research institutes in which you want to work. For example, my university, the first one in Portugal was Universidade Política, no, Universidade Nova de Lisboa, okay? So I did research on the research institutes in which they work on material science. Okay, so I know that this is the research group. Search for the research groups in the research department, which are there. And so material is like really vast. Everything is really vast. So you have to select, oh, this is the, even if you can be like really specific, tell about the publications about the that professor, it would be like really, 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 really impactful. Okay, so this is how you do it. And you need like your recommendation letters should be like 2 to 3 at least, and it should be okay. It should be preferably from the professors that studied from abroad or the same country you are applying to. Okay, keep that in mind. So mine one was like I couldn't find the same company because I couldn't find like Spain and Portugal or something like this, but I found like UK one, and then I was like, yeah, even though like I didn't contacted with that teacher a lot, but like he taught me a course. Okay, write me a recommendation letter. So it was like that. It should be like more or less similar countries and that because the professor used the name on that. Okay. Okay, so now my one. I will talk about my one, EIT scholarship. I am an EIT labeled scholar. So EIT is European Institute of Innovation and Technology. You go to their website. Okay, I didn't have a time. Otherwise, I will like show you the whole website about it, and I will include the website here. So you go to their website, and they have I think 6 domains of masters in which each domain they have different masters. So they start with raw material. Okay, and then they close the whole group into recycling. I am in the last group of recycling master, okay? And then they have like the mining master and they have different master. Okay. So EIT, let me tell you in detail, okay? EIT collaborates with Erasmus Mundus. Okay. So, in my class, there are some people who are Erasmus Mundus ones, and some are like me, EIT scholars. I didn't apply to Erasmus Mundus because I didn't have IELTS at that time, and EIT now I think asks for IELTS, but at my time it didn't ask me for IELTS. So in my whole life, I never gave IELTS exam. In my interview, they're like, "Okay, Laiba, we are doing the interview about you, and we just need to check your English." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, check my English." It's like it's way better than like giving money to ads to give the test. So it was really nice for me, and I was like really lucky about that. And okay, go to their website, apply. They select people from Pakistan on major scales. Let me tell you, major scales. Okay, so apply there. You can contact me anytime via email. I can write my email in the comment section, or Mariam can also give you my email. So contact me, ask me about anything. Okay, you want motivation letter, you want recommendation letters, like you want to see the stuff, how it goes, you want to be selected. So I can guide you because I've guided my juniors and they're in Portugal right now. So I'm like really proud of that, that they're like they asked me and now they're in Portugal. I'm like really, really, really proud of that. And then you have the Fulbright scholarship, which I don't know if it's UK or America, but it's some I had one of my friends who went there with that. And then we have scholarships for Japan. You apply for that. Every scholarship, keep in mind, for every scholarship, there are different criteria and different way to write the motivation letter. Don't do like one stuff for all of them. No, change it. Change it according to the professor, according to the department, according to everything if you want to be selected. And we have Swiss government and then we have Chilean. Okay, these are not enough. Okay, for me, I applied to Malaysia. I applied to, I don't know, any country I could think of, China and stuff like this. Okay, so there are some LinkedIn pages. For now, I'm searching for PhD, so I have this PhD opportunity circles and something page on LinkedIn, so in which I get the PhD opportunities of like every country, every country. So Go to the scholarship. There is one LinkedIn page. It's called Scholarship Opportunity. Go to that, and there's another one, Opportunity Circle. It's basically for Pakistani students, but you know the opportunity that was it matters, okay? So you go to that page, okay, and there will be internships, fellowships, and master's, PhDs, bachelor's opportunities there, and they update on regular basis. Okay, which country, whichever country, it doesn't matter. Okay, go to that pages and ask me anything. Uh, like from link, just contact me through LinkedIn or email, and I would like really, really, really love to help you because I am at the same stage as you guys. So, um, it's really really nice if if I can give you like some help, and it will be like really really nice to me too. And yes, that's the conclusion, is that yes, we have to do it. And yeah, you don't need to need the conclusion, so it's like everything is summed up already. So we have to do it, and we will do it. Hopefully someday we will be the change makers. So yeah, that's it.
So much, Laiba. Your story is some kind of my story because
Uh-huh.
I usually applied so many places, in so many institutes, so many organizations. I applied without any thinking that I have experience or not. Because
Mhm.
sometimes you don't have experience, but you have the potential to work with the thing you wanted to do. And I get the fellowships just by going through from the opportunity circle page, and then I just saw the opportunity and I just applied. So these are the things that were very valuable, I would say. And thank you so much for your time. Any questions from the audience? I would definitely love to ask from Laiba. So if you guys wanted to
Yeah.
ask anything, you guys can raise your hand and ask.
If I know the answer, sure, ask me. Let me just cross my screen though. You don't say cross the screen, like exit my screen. I don't know how to say speak English.
You can just
Okay.
stop your screen and then it will just get on.
Wait, oh yeah, here it says stop share.
Someone says re-show the conclusion so maybe they can understand what's the conclusion.
Oh, nice. Yep. I closed the screen. Okay, let me show it again. Um, here you go here, and then okay, now you go here. I think it was in 33. I think. Just sorry, my laptop is a bit slow. It's not a laptop, it's a tablet, and that's why it's slow.
So one of the question is in the chat. Someone is asking about LCA and their future and what is the views about biopolymers. So can you please explain those terms and things?
Okay, okay. LCA is kind of, you can say, a new field. When previous year there was only one paper in Portugal in my class that was of LCA, which was really fascinating because people usually don't go into that field in the past. But now I have a lot of my classmates and some of my seniors who are working on LCA. LCA, in short, is like life cycle assessment. So it's a software. It's called the software is Eco. No, the software name is OpenLCA. So there are like different softwares, but the one I was given to in Portugal was OpenLCA. So in OpenLCA, they have different stuff like this in which you can, search across, and you can say, oh, your packaging was from this, your this thing, the transport is like, even you have the option of how much ton your truck holds and everything like this. Okay, you have to do a research on whole LCA, the whole chain section. You have to, there are theses nowadays on the friend I told you about Indonesia is also doing, also did the LCA thing, okay? So I would say in Europe especially, they are focusing on LCA, and they are like more oriented towards the LCA. And there is opportunity if you like tell them you would like to go in LC, and they're like, come here. So it's really what was the second question though?
So they are asking about, is there anything about biopolymers?
Bio, okay. So it comes on uh, biomaterials side, you can say it. I did my bachelor's with a thesis in biomaterials. But unluckily for me, the countries that got me selected didn't have that much opportunity of biomaterial, which I really want to continue because now my master is like advanced recycling, and nobody like takes me in on biomaterials, even though I have a research paper on biomaterials. I made the medicine in biomaterials with incorporating polymers and the with skin and something like this. So it was really good, but I really want to continue. But depends on the country. If you want to go there, select the master, which would not include recycling, obviously, because then you will be like me. But if you go there, then obviously biopolymers have one of my friends from Brazil is doing something related to like this, and her master is almost finished. So she is doing that and it's working. But I feel like you have to be more into a biocatalytic side, more like input. No, but I can say about my university. I cannot say about different, but for sure in Germany, if you go, there are a lot because in Germany, you see there are a lot of they don't take money for the admission fee or something. So you just, if you get a selection or something like this, go for bio bioprom. It definitely has a scope. You can say definitely everything has a scope there. So you can do that.
Okay, so another question is about like from Naya from Indonesia. She's asking about that she has a bachelor's in agriculture engineering. So what is the scope that she can get a scholarship from her field in other countries? So what is the scope that she can get the scholarship?
Okay, so as I told you about Erasmus Mundus, okay, so in Erasmus Mundus, there are different universities that are giving opportunity to you on different fields. So it's in a whole, it's called Erasmus Mundus, okay, but in subcategories, there are WAVE programs, there are EID programs that are some of with Erasmus Mundus. So there are different programs that combines with Erasmus. So as I do not have background of agriculture yet, maybe in future. So I do not know as such, but I would like you to search and obviously tell me about it then. And also, I would like you to search on Google about the opportunities, about the scope. If you ask me about the scope, everything has a scope. You just have to be exceptional in everything you do. So you are the scope, you know? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yes, I totally agree. And also, I would suggest you can connect with Laiba if you want any tips, any further help in motivation letter, and anything. So she maybe guide you further if you can message her. Then you can consider it.
I sent
Or,
you my email. Also, sorry to interrupt. I
yeah.
sent you my email so you can read it.
Thank you so much. One last question. The lady is asking that if we start with the zero waste project.
Sorry,
So,
sorry, sorry, your
so basically, she is asking that if she wanted to start a zero waste project, so what will be the steps she should take to start the project? So maybe you can guide her somehow.
okay. So you are basically it's my idea too. I'm planning to go back to Pakistan to be very honest. So, um, okay. First is research. You have to be the world's best researcher in your mind. You don't have to rule the world, okay? You just need to create a product that is uh you know the whole LCA thing that is a complete solution of everything. Oh, okay, Dinaya. Thank you. Sorry, I'm distracted. So you have to um be that. First is research. Second is do you need to know how to give a pitch? in this master, in every Erasmus master, in every scholarship master, I think, especially in EIT and Erasmus, I know of them more in my field, especially. So what happens is that they give you opportunities within the courses to give pitch. And I had opportunity to go to Poland just to pitch. It's a fake pitch. Okay, you give a fake pitch of your company, but it's just opportunity for you to, you know how to give a pitch of a complete solution. So it was a program called RACE, but I don't think they accept people outside of European Union. I mean, they accept people, but then they don't fund you for if you are within the European Union, they give you tickets and everything. You don't have to be the national, obviously, but you're just living there. So they won't fund you, but they will accept you if you have a good profile. And is that you need to know how to give a pitch and how to give a complete pitch of a complete solution. The pitch includes like, for example, you're making a product, okay? And someone else is making that product too, but from new materials, not from recycled materials like you, or not from like zero waste like you, okay? So what you do is you need one to involve the customer, create awareness to a customer that why is it beneficial, why like it's doing the environment things, the thing is it's doing, okay. In Europe and in countries like the developed countries, the customer is already more or less aware, okay. But in countries like the third world countries and the other countries, they're like the people even in countries like this, the people don't care that much. So you have to create a customer awareness, and you have to create a product which is less than in money than the one original is making. How do you do that? You do that by the one I told earlier, by contacting the municipalities. Okay, they have the waste. They will give you the material for really, really, really cheap prices because it's the waste. They have to fill the landfill. Once I had the opportunity to stand on a landfill because the landfill that was there was like the land and in which there was a landfill. Now it was covered with sand, and then there was a fume hood of that in which the gases from the landfill would come in. So it's the waste of their land. Obviously, they will give you for really cheap prices. And sometimes what we did with when I went to Poland, ArcelorMittal, so we proposed solution to the company for the waste they were generating. They will give us their waste in really cheap prices. So which is like our raw material would be very cheap than the material normal company is making. So your product should always have more value in terms of everything. You can say it should be economically cheap because no one would buy that for you, even if it's very sustainable, very zero waste, and people in Europe would even never buy from you because it's not feasible, it's not money friendly, it's not how do you say pocket friendly for them.
Thank you so much, Laila, for your valuable time. And looking forward to maybe further sessions with you and more discussions about everything, the experience
Sure,
you
sure.
have. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining this session. And we will meet again in the next session. Thank you so much.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Good luck.